bet you the controls are on that computer, but now.
Yeah, they're over there on that.
You
Yeah,
don't
they
want
are.
us to touch it.
I don't know if he's.
Can he control it remotely?
Okay, we are live now, so this is the August 13th, 2026 meeting of the Fair Access Committee. With me tonight are Derek Longbreak, Nancy Kidd, Ed Reed, and online we have Laura Van Apren. I'm here as well, so we got a quorum, and so we'll go ahead and start. We had no minutes. We did not meet in July, so we have no minutes to adopt for that. And this meeting is going to be, as you would expect, because we're only about 5 to 6 weeks now away from Poolesville Day, breakfast, focused on that. I sent you all not only a run of show, but also some ideas for one of the parts of the run of show, which is the panel that we've had typically in most of these. So we can talk about that. But before we get to that, few quick updates. I did check earlier this week with the caterer. I'm going to have a call with him next week, but I think everything there is set. We're in good shape. The attendance so far, I've got about 45 to 50, which is pretty high for this early. Unfortunately, as you saw, we didn't get the governor's office, but I know Kevin Addix is coming, who's the Secretary of Agriculture. He came to the plaque ceremony, and Aruna may come too, so at least we'll have somebody from the state. We got almost half the council members, so it's so far turned out to be a pretty good turnout. Typically what we have, as you recall, is that we set up on Friday evening at 5 p.m. at the elementary school. And this year we'll have pretty much what we've had in the past. We have about 5 or 6 posters. Nancy had some thoughts about the agenda and so forth, and one of the things she suggested, which I think is a good idea, is maybe on the run of show have the video that showed us all testifying, just to remind everybody, maybe at the beginning, what we testified about and what our 2 primary initiatives are this year. But then around on the easels, we could have the pictures that we had at the farmers ceremony, just kind of remind people we had that again, and thank you for coming. We're doing another video, which is a little more expanded from the one you guys saw, and it's going to include actual farming. Mike Jamieson is inviting us out on Tuesday, so that should be interesting. But I agree, I don't think we want to have 2 videos, so we'll probably just send that out separately, maybe after the meeting. So I think that's a pretty good way to do it. The posters I think we had 7, and they had some really good pictures from around the Ag Reserve, and so I think that'd be kind of nice to set up around it. And then we've got 2 posters that one's the community center and one's the pool bubble that we can have it in that mix as well. So I think that'll be a pretty good way to handle that. So Friday evening, 5 p.m., maybe an hour. I'll then go up to where our booth is, which you know is in the middle here, and I'll drop off all the giveaways and also the banner, and we'll set up the tent. So basically the next morning, instead of having to rush everything up like we've done before, we should have it all there. So it should be pretty straightforward. Any questions on any of that or anything I might have left out?
I do have on the attendance, I have a question. Have the those who won the primary been invited as well?
Yes.
Council members have any of those accepted? Do we
Two or three so far have. Scott Goldberg has, Julie Yang has. I think, I didn't check last night, but I think that Sherwin Wells, he said yes, I'm pretty sure. So I haven't heard from Lori, I haven't heard from the other ones, but I'm pretty sure that I know Lori Ann has said yes, so yeah.
What about Will?
Will Jawando, so David Noon, his staff guy, I texted him, he's this morning said, I'll get back to you, so I don't know, but they do know about it, it's on his agenda. I'm hoping to get him out. So yeah, we should, Mark Elwich, yeah, he's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, so the county executive will be there. So I'll send you the list tonight. There's X's on there, so you'll see who said yes so far. Tom Hoffman said yes from Montgomery Countryside Alliance. Steve said yes. Lauren Greenberg said yes. From a number of farmers have already said yes. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty good turnout. Okay. Let's see. So that's catering. So let me go into the agenda. Taking a look at the run of show, kind of the typical run of show we've had this year. Like I just discussed, I think we'll do a video at the beginning after the sign and the greeting. One thing that somebody suggested to me, which is a cool idea, and it's probably simple to do, instead of having gift cards under one chair like we did last year, maybe having an interactive, and it's real simple to do because we did it, we use a voting technology that does the same thing for Poolesville Day for the Grand Marshal. But essentially having 5 questions about Poolesville that they can fill out on their phone, and anybody who gets 5 of them, we'll give them a card before they leave. And, you know, things about our history, culture, things like that. I think it's a pretty cute
And
idea.
you do it out loud, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like you say, okay, everybody,
Yeah.
get your phones, here's question
Right.
1, and then.
Right, so that's, I think that'd be, and it'll only be 5 of them, so it won't be that long, but you know,
They
anything,
have to go to,
what's that?
it's like a link they have to.
Yeah,
go
it would be, it should be, what we do for the meeting is we have a QR code. So you just
Yeah.
click on it, it's up, and then the 5 questions, and you just click, you know, A, B, C, or
Yeah.
whatever the questions are, so.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a cute idea, too. So then we'll have the video, introductions and brief comments from key leaders. Again, we don't know who will be there to do that, but usually the D15 is there, and they'll make some comments. Usually we have Marilyn and some of the council members make a few comments. If Kevin Addix is there, or Aruna, obviously we'd have them make some comments, and then Mark, because he's the county executive. So that'd be kind of 15 or 20 minutes, as you see there. Then the Champion of the Western County Award, and we already talked about that, and I think people are on board with that. I suggested another idea, because it kind of ties into what we've been doing anyway, which is like the plaque and what we did with the Rosenwald School, you know, some of the placemaking things we've been doing, which I do think fit in with trying to make sure that people know what Poolesville is, who we are, why we're an important community. I came up with an idea for what I'm calling Heroes of History, but there are people in this town, and I named one of them, I don't want to name him here in public, but who's done just amazing work over eons, literally. This guy's been doing this for 46 years and knows probably more than anybody in the park system about the C&O Canal. But there's other people too, like Jim Poole. I worked with Jim when we did that White's Ferry slide presentation. What he's done in terms of research on slavery, for example, in this area, he helped Chuck identify his family members who were enslaved at his house. So I just thought that might be a nice addition too, but if you guys think it's too much or not appropriate, yeah, we don't have to go that direction, but I just wanted to throw that out there. So, any discussion on that?
Nancy had
mean-
offered some.
I mean, I think it's a nice idea. I just think, I think it's, I mean, I like the idea. I just think it would be good. It provide, not just, I think it provides a good transition. Like you and I had a conversation the other day about, and we've all talked about this more generally, that we're sort of at an inflection point with the committee, right? Where we're switching from focusing on these big capital ideas, the community center, the school, the pool bubble, to more like, okay, now if we have a community center, we need programming, we need resources to make sure that it's a viable
Right.
place and that kind of thing. And doing these kinds of place-making, you know, sort of orienting people to the place and the nature of what we do and why we're here and all that kind of stuff supports that, right? It helps make the case to the legislators that we should have this kind of active environment, right? So I think it just situating it in that context makes a difference in terms of making it a fair access. I like the idea in general, but if it's going to be a fair access award, making that connection. Why is fair access focusing on history
Right,
when we're talking about, you know,
right,
equal access to government resources
Right.
today?
right,
And there's a connection for sure,
right.
but that's not going to be immediately obvious to everybody.
No, that's a good
You just got
point.
to spell it out, though.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then, and along that lines, is being able to recognize and celebrate the forward momentum of, you know, the
Exactly.
community center is coming, right? And as we continue to move forward, that gives a structure. But now we have to, we can't let that flame die out with just a building,
Exactly.
right? And then I think it also tees up for fair programming.
Exactly.
You know,
Right. It helps make that
it
transition.
was like the bridge.
Exactly. That's
Right, no, that's a good point. I'll have to figure out how to frame that, but I think you got it good.
And then that can be, you know, like Link, you've done such a good job over the years of having this kind of like language that you use repetitively in a good way, you know, to kind of articulate what the priorities are and how we think of, you know, what are the things that we're missing at a high level. I forget.
Right,
Remember
Right.
4 things or whatever. you have these kind of mantras that people get used to and hear and are familiar with and recognize what we're asking for and why. And I think we might want to just start thinking about what that language would be for this
So the
bridge.
planting the seeds.
Yeah. And the history thing could be a first opportunity to start doing that.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that too, because when the White's Ferry, you were there, right?
Yeah, I was there.
So the White's Ferry thing happened, I did about 5 interviews. Every reporter, all they wanted to focus on was, give me an example of what's happening to the local economy because of White's Ferry. And I said, it's not just about our economy. It is important, obviously, because it's basically our main street, but it's also about our history and culture. It's really what makes our area rural, keeps it rural. It's identity of what our area has been about. So it lets us go other places, but we don't have a bridge which could actually destroy what we have, which is too much development. So the history, culture, and economy kind of message, I think, is important.
I think that's important too, because if you're, I'm just thinking for some reason of like Olney, which is on the edge of the Ag Reserve in the Eastern County, but it's a whole different kind of community.
different vibe,
than
yeah.
Poolesville.
Yep.
And so I think there can be conflation with people. So this is an opportunity to say, what is the character of this area? You know, Poolesville, so maybe as we're getting into it, maybe it is some of the businesses that are the panel, right? As the character, what is it? Who are the actual people here? But then it's not just about business.
Right.
I think
Right.
that's, but it's also not just about farming, which is what we're
Right.
trying to balance all of this, right? Because it is a unique area. So how do you,
So on that, just tagging in where you are, it's really about how do you, it's being able to foster a sense of community and how you're able to celebrate diversity within a community going beyond what you might think is monolithic.
Right.
Right? Because really when you open up the curtain, what you really see behind the curtain, where you have people who come here from all different backgrounds and experiences. And so you think about a farming community, you think about folks who are not farmers but just want a slower pace of life,
Right.
right? Who enjoy being able to come out and have these kinds of festivals.
Yep.
And so, because what we think about too is quality of life.
Right.
And what is it that we can do here that can become an example for other places around the county of how you bring people together of diverse backgrounds? If we want to truly celebrate the diversity, it's not just diversity of race, but it's just a diversity of income, a diversity of background, right?
I love that, and it's making me wonder, your comments together are making me wonder if maybe we do a little bit of an amalgamation for the panel. And maybe the broader theme of Poolesville Day, if we're going to introduce this history award too, and if we're going to start talking about, thank you for the community center, thank you for all these other things. We're still going on the pool, we're not, we're not
Right.
stopping. But, we're not going to be asking you for like 500 more big buildings and things, right? Here's, now the community center is coming, here's what we're going to want to do there. Maybe we use this sort of whole breakfast as an opportunity to shift to placemaking. And then the panel can be not asking for anything, not, but just get to know the diversity of our community and the kinds of people who are here and the kinds of things that they do. And we get a group of different kinds of people who kind of introduce themselves. We'd want to think about what the dimensions of diversity are. I mean, we can't have 50 people, right?
Yeah.
But we pick people who kind of complement each other in terms of creating a picture of life up here, both who's here and the kinds of things they do, but presumably they'd also be talking about their personal experiences here, what their history is in the town and how they experience the town and themselves, their families, whatever the case may be. But we explicitly would articulate why we're doing that, in terms of then our next set of.
Right. So as I'm listening to you, I think about culture and community. And I think about it's important for the county, as you want to attract people from the outside. Why live in Montgomery County? Why visit in Montgomery County? What And because you might have some people said, Montgomery, so the way I look at it, Montgomery County is more than just Down County. Montgomery County is more than Potomac and Bethesda. There's a Bethesda Potomac vibe, there's a Silver Spring vibe, there's a Rockville vibe, there's a Gaithersburg vibe, but there's also a Poolesville vibe. Right? But there's a place for everybody in Montgomery County. Then it's just a matter of, when I think about culture and community, I think of the store right across the street with Kate's store.
Oh,
Right?
Sweet Lemon.
Sweet Lemon. And I think about, so that Poolesville story, I think about Kate and her husband. And I think about a person who was teaching at the school,
Right.
raising her kids, opens up a store in the community. I think about, here it is in that store, but they do was it Mahjong or something like that? That
Yeah.
game.
Oh, right, that, yeah,
Yeah.
they have little classes.
They have that
now.
little
Right,
classes,
yep.
bringing people together. And so how many places will you go and you find a local store bringing people together to learn and play? But really what we're talking about is togetherness. We're talking about community, where you think about where people can go and come together. So diversity, you take Kate doing her thing,
Yep.
but now you think some of the farmers.
Or you could, I mean, this is not to not get rid of Link's work and things. You could take someone like Jenny Freeman of Community
Yeah.
Farm Share, who
Right,
here
Absolutely.
started a nonprofit that's in the whole county now,
Right.
that's trying to help produce from Montgomery County go to,
right,
food
Right.
needy residents.
right.
Did you say help? So now we take your wife.
Well,
But then
we've
it's-
had one
But
co.
it becomes,
Yeah.
but it becomes in some way a personal story, right? So
Right.
the story is really, I mean,
Yeah.
she's not being picked, I mean, not because she's not a lovely person, but, she's
Yeah.
being picked because of the organization and that kind of thing, to use her, but it's told from a personal perspective. Like, I am a person who lives here.
Right.
This is my history here. I started this organization because I recognize this, what this area has to offer a broader community, and,
Yeah. And so, and I don't know if there's someone from then the other panel. I don't want to make it so much an amalgam. It's sort of,
Yeah.
but I mean,
No,
then you
they're
have
good
someone
people, why
from
not?
the farm panel like you had on there, like Jenny. You have, someone from the business panel, and you
Right.
have someone from
Then
the
you just have-
economic.
Like I would think
Panel
somewhere
or
from, and I guess I don't know if we did this last year or not. Everything runs together, right? But I'm thinking even some of the seniors and just
Yeah,
things that.
last year we did inequities and we had like 3 minutes on each one.
I mean,
But so
the
that's-
Poolesville seniors are a huge part of the community.
Yeah, because I guess where I'm thinking too, the message is community.
Right.
In a time where around the country there's so much tension, there's so much anxiety, and here it is September. You're right around from November. There's a lot of tension among people, right? And when one of the things of Poolesville is that we can demonstrate that we can model what it's like to have a sense of community. What's the sense of community?
But we also still have a message because we are there to advocate. So we can show the community and we can say, thank you for these things you did
Right.
that have supported and strengthened our community.
Yeah.
These are the things
Yeah.
that we need that will keep this
Continue.
up.
Maintain it,
So I
exactly.
think we.
All of these
nice
things,
to
the
show
community
off,
is-
but there needs
Oh,
to be a-
totally.
So here's the ask.
All of these things the county has been supporting us on are a part of helping make that community stronger.
Right, and so then you can say, so please, you see now why it's so important to make sure this community center gets built. You see what would come, how much the pool would benefit this community and how much it would be used and for, all those
Yeah.
good things. And as we move forward, these are the kinds of things we're really thinking about.
So what do you think? So it's almost like, so now there's the pitch. The pitch is, let's talk about the return on your investment.
Exactly,
The return on your investment, because we're just getting started.
right.
Because that's
Exactly.
And I've gotten told by
I love
council members, they want stories they can
Right,
tell.
Right.
and that's
Right.
what this
To
is, right.
convince their colleagues or
Exactly.
to convince other people. It's sure there's data, but they want to be able to say, oh, this person in this
Right.
started this business and did this, or they want to know about,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Sweet Lemon is good. There was a really, I forgot the woman's name, but she was at a PACC breakfast I went to. She's a black woman who started an ice cream store.
Oh, they just did the ribbon.
I didn't get to go to the
cutting
actual
for that.
opening.
Did you go to
I
the
went to
ribbon
the
cutting?
ribbon cutting.
Yeah, it looked
How
pretty
was it?
cool. I don't know. That looks like a good
It's
story.
a sample. It's out of St. Peter's.
St.
That's the kitchen they're using.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you want to do multiple business people or?
I would do a
like, I would-
mix.
Yeah, so I would do like somebody who's a
So Jenny is good.
farmer, like Jenny.
I
And
think
and maybe the Buddhist
What about-
temple, because
what
I
about
don't
a
think most of
teacher?
these people
A
know who
teacher
they
who
are.
lives in Poolesville, who teaches at Poolesville.
there's a couple.
Carrie
Which one?
Costello is one.
Yeah.
I don't
You mean
know.
a teacher that's local?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
There's some, I'm trying to think, there's some who, wonder if they would get up and
No,
speak.
kindergarten teacher, but I know.
Huh?
I mean, I think it's
Who you
fine.
thinking?
Kindergarten teacher, Savino.
Yeah? Savino?
Yeah.
But she don't teach in Poolesville though, does she?
Yeah, I think
She does?
At the elementary.
Oh, I didn't realize that. It's been a.
The other one I do like
Yeah.
though, and I don't,
Her
I
and Dan
think,
both taught
I
them.
know Marilyn knows him and a few other people do.
Oh, no, he's that.
He's
But a
paraeducator.
lot of people don't probably, and that's the Buddhist temple. Because they're not in Poolesville, but you talk about a community group that is actually part of Poolesville and the broader Western County.
Yep.
It's them. I mean, they're here all the time working.
Yeah. But again, I think about, is there a person who kind of like,
You know who,
I mean, I
and
should
think about
understand.
who would do
So I
it.
think Dara Tokars is pretty good.
She does substituting
Yeah,
as well.
right.
so-
She's a teacher too.
What do you think about Ariana? 'Cause she had,
Ariana
I think
could-
Ariana would, because I'm also thinking people who would nail it. You give them a microphone and, right, you just tell them what they need to do. But
who's Ariana?
So she's story tapestry.
Yeah.
Oh, I
She's
know who
the
you're talking about.
director.
Okay.
yeah,
So we got, literally, you got 20 minutes to do the panel. So the intro part might be 3 to 5, and then everybody else has 4 minutes. So we might be able to get 4 people. That's
Yeah.
gonna stretch it, and then
Yeah.
1 to introduce.
I would say, yeah, max 4.
Yeah.
but-
yeah. I would say max 4. I think what we do is just kind of brain dump who might be good people, and then out of whatever we come up with, now you start saying, okay, out of this group, whoever they are, who might be, because there's a couple of things. Not only do you have to have a good story, you got to be able to tell your story.
Right.
Right.
Right? Not everyone's going to do a good job telling a great story in a succinct, in a short period of time, right? In a way that's compelling. Now, I think Katie Haran could do that.
Yeah, she does a good
definitely
job.
could.
You know?
So if we did her,
So if you have something from business, I think Jenny can nail
something from
it.
business,
Yeah,
something from
Jenny can.
farming.
And I think something.
Is she a farmer?
She does her own bit, but she's the person who knows all the small scale farmers in the
Okay.
county.
Yeah.
That's more her.
Yeah.
Uh,
She basically works then to aggregate food.
So what would be the other kind of like dimensions of the community that you'd want to highlight?
Like, you know-
got the business, you got the farming.
You have what's her name with Leo? I mean, with the Lions Club.
Oh, the president of the,
Yeah.
who is it now?
I'm just thinking people who might be doing things that do like community supports, community work. I do think about the seniors. 'Cause I think about all the events, like even if it's a different voice from the seniors, right?
Yep.
I think about the events where they put on the dances, the movies. There's
Yeah.
always something going on, and I think an ask is if our seniors could get a fraction of what the folks get around the county, you know.
That's right. And I think it would be nice for all of these to have like slightly different voices than the people who this group has heard many times.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Because like you said, they want to have more personal stories. So it's not necessarily always going to be the person who runs the organization,
Mm-hmm.
right? You want a person who's involved in the organization, benefits from the organization, just like
Right.
a regular person who this has become part of their life and they're
Mm-hmm.
an active person in the community.
Yeah,
So it doesn't necessarily have to be a leader of.
right. It could be a person who's just out doing some
Yeah.
things, or a person who benefits from some of these things.
Okay. You want me to take a crack at trying to frame something, or does one of you want to do it? It doesn't matter to me.
Or even, I do like the idea of teachers also. If you can think about a teacher who's been here for a while, who can really speak on what they've done, what they've seen. See, you got my wheels running.
All right.
So I'll give it more thought too.
I mean, you have already some names of people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Here, right? So I mean,
Yeah, I don't think we're
we can
starting
add
over.
in some things, but I don't think we need to completely erase.
Yeah.
There might be somebody from each of these, but if we're saying a little more local.
Right, right. Okay.
Because I just remember, I don't know if you remember when Chebra was here.
Yeah,
And she
Yeah.
just was like, wow, there's just something about this community.
right, right.
Like that, I feel like that's, if we
That's
can
the
get that
response you want.
across,
That's the response you want.
you know,
Right.
then it's like, how do you say no about the pool bubble? How do you not move up the community center? Like,
Right.
that's more,
Right, right.
I don't know if we have enough time, but one of the things we might even think about too, it's having a student, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Having
do
a
that too.
student who could come in and, you know, and talk about this. Because remember, even when we were pitching for early in the early days, pitching for the community center, we've had some students. Remember, we had
Yeah.
Jacob.
And the
go
pool
with
bubble
us.
too.
Yeah.
Students on that as
Pool
well.
bubble.
That's a great idea. I mean, that also is like if you did it, somebody from the seniors, you have a student.
Right. And then the other ones that we named, I definitely think Jenny. I would be strong on Jenny and Kate.
Jenny, Kate, somebody senior kind of person and a
And a kid, yeah, student.
All right. Yeah, and the interesting thing-
And if we do if we
Go
do,
ahead.
if we do the history award,
Yeah.
then that introduces another
Another
person.
dimension, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a big, long.
Right.
It's just you're introducing
That's
the
nice.
person, and that tells their story.
Mm-hmm.
So that,
And you could also have another voice for the moderator for the panel too.
Mhm.
You know, just somebody.
I think Sarah hasn't really, because I see.
Yeah, I proposed her for one of the panels, Tom.
Yeah. For the farming.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of framing it, I mean, some of the things that they wouldn't understand is, for example, just take local business. If you take our economy, it is, and I've said, I always say this, it's a small business-driven economy. We don't have too many big firms out here. Even our largest company, which is, right now, believe it or not, employment-wise, is the landscaping company, which is Fine Earth, only has 150 employees, but it's the biggest company out here.
Yeah.
And Clay is next. So that just gives you perspective.
See, I'd probably push for you to moderate, because I think you're well respected by the audience. Everyone, when you speak, you have folks who are going to lean in a little bit more. You understand the issues in depth, right? And I think for you moderating, I think that might be, right? You doing a same voice, a familiar voice, is not going to be like, oh, here he goes again. It's just, here's someone that is loved and respected and has a good command, can really set the stage.
These are some good ideas. Let me see if I can frame something up.
So
And
this is another idea. Don't put this on your plate necessarily, but while we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about it, I'm just thinking of, there's a lady who immigrated from Brazil and started a cleaning company that employs other people.
A
now,
cleaning
and
company?
She came in
Oh.
as getting support from the community, and then
Mm-hmm. Here?
ended up buying a townhome. Yeah.
Oh.
Great.
So it's like a whole,
Huh.
you could say success kind of story. There's
Yeah.
so there's could be some stories like that. I don't know if she would be able to, because she's still in the English classes at
Yeah.
Plumco, right? So,
Oh.
but to like a couple of stories on the table of
Oh,
that
that's
a good one.
a great idea.
some more of the diversity
Mm.
that or of people that we
Yeah.
don't know who have good stories but aren't the ones to be up front necessarily at this point or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I almost wonder,
Like Ariana's could be that too if we don't
Mhm.
have her come up, right?
Right.
Or something.
Mm.
she might be able to help with doing that. Like,
True.
I wonder if, yeah, like you have, like you could almost make like little cards, you know, like introducing so-and-so, you know, you have like 10 residents or something like that, where you do little profiles of them. And, I mean, you could invite them even to come. There's like one who sits at
And
a.
it could be useful possibly beyond as a video or something
Yeah.
to be passing on as part of our advocacy, reminding you about the importance of this community and the impact it has in people's lives or something like that. But just another
that- I
idea.
mean,
I don't want to
yeah, I mean-
put too much layer too many things on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the breakfast is in a month, but I think all of this is really like building something that, like you said, that, you know, things that could be used longer term, again, as we're making this kind
Right.
of bridge and wanting to start to constantly explain, demonstrate
what-
what makes our community special.
One of the things I like, Derek, about what you just said, that type of story, it dismantles the stereotype of Poolesville.
Exactly.
Because the stereotype of Poolesville is a bunch of white, wealthy people living out here and everyone has a farm
Right.
and maybe a horse, which is not the reality. But so when you have folks thinking, well, why are we going to go out there? They're all set. Why are we going to go and support Poolesville and look at all these needs everywhere else? The reality is the needs are here too. The people are here, right? And so when we have an opportunity to debunk the myths, we should,
I agree 100%. I wonder if there was somebody else. I mean, it sounds like she's not positioned at this point necessarily to be presenting.
Yeah.
But I wonder if there's somebody else with that kind of story that would.
Well, Katie'd probably be the
I'm sure she
person
could
to
find
ask
somebody.
about that if
Yeah.
there was that.
Yeah, who's at a stage where presentation would be more comfortable.
Actually, it wouldn't be bad, though, if, we're only talking 3 minutes, so it wouldn't be bad if an interpreter would actually interpret for her when she speaks. I mean, she's learning English, but even though she's just learning it, she's already out there with a business that's successful.
Got 2 kids in local school.
That's true,
If
right?
she's willing to do it,
She's taking advantage of what WAMCO's offering. She's got the kids in school.
But now
She
she
started this
doesn't need
business.
it. She's got a business with 2.
But she did get
2
benefits,
employees.
yeah.
Yeah, but she got.
That's cool.
Well, 'cause she came with basically nothing.
If you've met her, though,
Yeah.
and she's pretty outgoing, you think?
Oh,
or-
yeah, yeah.
Do you think she'd be open to doing it with the help of a?
Katie's the one with the relationship.
Yeah.
So I always want to lean on
Yeah.
where the
Yeah,
relationship
yeah.
is.
right.
I think it's
So
a good
don't-
idea.
don't wanna- I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential.
I think, as you were describing, that we want to convey the diversity of our community. I think that's a pretty important.
Yeah, I agree. How do you feel about talking to Katie?
Oh, I'm glad to ask her about
Okay.
that. I mean, she can
So yeah or
see,
nay?
or she can even
Investigate.
say, is that something to even pursue or not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
All right.
I like it, though. It's a really neat idea.
Or somebody else if she doesn't think
Yeah.
she would be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, this is great. Well, you have a committee. New ideas come up. So that's the panel then, I guess, and we'll work on framing that out and see how we come up with something on that. We already talked about the championing of the Western County. And basically, the close is pretty much what we talked about. And normally, we just kind of reemphasize our key initiatives. And at that point, we do a pick and then we're done. So that's a lot, but I think we'll get it done.
Appreciate your work on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. The feedback has been great.
It's a huge
So,
amount of work, I know.
yeah, this is good. Well, I think part of the reason to do the way we do it is that we actually do plan it out, so when you actually do have the presentation, it obviously impacts them, because they're not coming back just because they like to see people. They're coming back because they do get something out of it, so that's why it's worthwhile spending time on it. So. All right, let's see, anything else? Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention is the booth setup on Friday evening. We talked about that. We're going to have 3 different booth coverages, 11 to 12:30, 12:30 to 2, and 2 to 3 o'clock. And then 3:30, it starts winding down, so we'll start cleaning up then. I'll send out a note to everybody, and if you can sign up for one of those time slots, that'd be great.
I can tell you could put me right now in any place. I haven't been recruited by
Oh, okay,
anywhere else at this point.
okay.
I have to see where I'm being put and recruited and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's fine, but, so the Derek will be one, okay.
I always am willing to do the whole time, but I have to take Joe's to something at our synagogue that day, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to.
That's fine, that's fine.
I'll be there in the morning.
I can do it for sure at some point, so I'll do it. I think we'll get
The thing
people.
is 12:30 to 2 in
Yeah.
Rockville, so.
Okay, that's fine. And I think beyond that, I think that's pretty much it for Poolesville Day, so.
You need any student volunteers? I got a couple.
At the booth, are we gonna really try to get people's names for our advocacy list?
I am
Or
gonna-
are we just
yes.
stay there to
Yeah, I will
answer
definitely do
questions
that.
Basically about White's Ferry like last year.
Yeah, I think that we absolutely should do that.
You want to do like a QR code where they could go in and fill it out, or do you want to have them Sign up right
Or we just.
Either way, or just fill out
Write it
a
out.
board.
Yeah,
But just, it's a way to get, it's a way, first of all, it's a way to get people into the booth, like,
right.
would you like to
Yeah.
sign up for the,
Yeah, I think sign up would be better. Print neatly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and, it does get more people on our list.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely do that too. Yeah, QR code might be a good idea, actually, so I'll work on
So
that.
before we work the booth, you need to give us the last update on White's Ferry, because that's what that's 90% of people asked
Yeah, it
last
is.
year.
Yeah.
Honestly, since the announcement, the only thing I've heard is that there have been ongoing discussions with the DOT in Virginia, so I don't know where they are in that process.
Just if there's an up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not heard anything from
I haven't
John
heard
McCullough, who's the delegate over there in Loudoun County, and I are we have a good relationship, and if he hears something, he tells me. He said so far, he's not heard anything in terms of anything specific that's happened, so I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, the letter, if anybody had any comments on that,
Good.
yeah, we'll send that out. Now, what I was gonna do is actually, I always send it to the county executive, but then I also send copies to all the council, and I was gonna put these kind of things in the letter, so they've got those
That's a
too.
good idea.
It's always nice to have something, when I was in Congress, it was so cute to get something like that, you know, it was personal from the group, so,
Oh, yeah.
We'll do that,
We should
too.
Absolutely do that.
yeah.
One other thing that I think towards our advocacy, and I know you're working with Katie about this, is we should really be pushing getting people out for tours, especially Will.
Yeah. That's what
He needs to see.
yeah.
pools.
Yeah.
Yang's already said she wants to do it, but she's in District 3. It's still good to have her see it.
Yep.
But she's definitely going to come out. We already did most of the other council members, except we haven't done Will. He came out here, but he did not do a WUMCO tour. He came out to meet me and Chuck, and we took him out he wanted to see Martinsburg. So he's been out to do that. David Nunes, his staff director, said he's got it. So I'm going to follow up with him the next couple of days, but we'll definitely try to get it on the schedule. It's important for him, especially since, I don't know if you guys know the timing, but essentially the new county executive takes over December 7th. So the new budget will actually be, I mean, it's going to be modified from what the county executives are already working on, but it'll be his, and he will be the county executive from then on out, so. And before you know it, we're going to work on our holiday event. So, but that's okay. All right, anything else for the good of the cause?
All good?
Well, thanks for the help, and the feedback was great, and I'll take that on board, and we'll keep working on it, so.
Thank you.
Anything, Laura, from your standpoint?
No, just appreciate the catch on that video. The title, we're correcting that, and that'll be ready to push out soon, and we'll get working on the second one for Poolesville Day.
The other thing I just wanted to remind you is that at the breakfast, I would like to have, if we can get Shannon to be there, because for the point that Nancy raised, if we can video a lot of what's going on, we could probably use it for other things. So if she can be there, that would be great.
Oh, sounds good. I will check with her.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Anything else, anybody? Niles, thanks a lot for the setup. I appreciate it. Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
A motion that we adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Niles. See you, Laura.
All right.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate
Take
it.
your time you driving to the airport, Lake?
Yeah, I got to take